and red signature right there. So near Medaryville, this is approaching the Pulaski County line. I can't say this enough. If you live in Medaryville North up 421, get to your safe spot now. Radar indicating the concern of a tornado being possible. This is what we call radar indicated, but we have now reached that threshold. Tornado warning for Pulaski County. The main concern from Medaryville up between Medaryville and Saint Pierre. If you live anywhere between Medaryville and Saint Pierre, that's going to be my concern. You're watching live coverage right now of a tornado warned storm currently moving into Pulaski County. So here's the zoom in as we go in as close as we can. The area of circulation would be right in here. And so this is the path I would be concerned for. North side of Medaryville, just north of the road being West 125 north. So if you're pretty much just north of Medaryville, this is the area that is not technically, in Michiana just yet, but this is just one radar scan at 714. One radar scan currently at 714, and we're watching as this will likely move along this path right here. We're waiting for this next radar update. This is the Pulaski-Jasper County line. And again, the threat area is in here, getting kind of some broader rotation, but really I'd be concerned for anywhere inside Medaryville. We've now just seen a jump in the radar, so let's zoom out just a little bit and I'll show you where my area of concern is now. So really it's still kind of broad, but we're seeing what could be very strong wind in here, but the area of circulation would be roughly right in here, again, between Medaryville and Radioville. Rich Grove, make sure that you're on standby as well, but a tornado warned storm currently for Pulaski County. Kristen, you have an update.
Yes, update. In Medaryville, rotation is moving now. There's no indication of a tornado actually on the ground, but it said it is a rotation moving into Medaryville now.
So area of rotation, who's spotting that? Is it emergency management or law enforcement?
National Weather Service, Northern Indiana.
Gotcha. So they're indicating that, again, this is an area of a tornado possible. This is why this is radar indicated. What the National Weather Service is indicating to us is just what I'm telling you as well, is that it's this area right here on the radar that is concerning to us. When you have that classic red meets green notch side by side, again, these pixels indicating that air is moving at different directions, away and towards the radar. We're getting that spin indicated through here. We also may have an indication of strong wind crossing 421 as well. So Medaryville to Radioville, right through here, and on this path headed towards the Rich Grove area. So this will likely stay north of Winnemac, but an active tornado currently ongoing. This is the current situation. This is the tornado warning that stretches across northwestern Pulaski County. Does not include Winnemac. Winnemac is not under the tornado warning. Knox is under the tornado warning, though the area of circulation that could be a tornado is still a little ways away. We'll have an updated storm track in just a moment. We're going to cycle through and kind of show you area wide. Currently 55 in South Bend, 73 in Winnemac, and it's along this warm front boundary where things can easily spin up, and that is our concern for severe weather. But if you're watching along with us right now, this is the map. No active watches or warnings across northern Indiana or southwest Michigan. Areas in yellow under the tornado watch, area in red under the tornado warning, area in orange under the severe thunderstorm warning where there could be wind up to 60 miles per hour. But our main concern is that active tornado warning. And a lot of people have been asking on Facebook, what's the difference in our setup? And it's more of we have probably a discrete tornado threat than the widespread wind threat for many people. Kristen, Tyler, you have a comment.
Yeah, several people in the chat are asking, will this system of storms begin to knock out power once again? That's the main concern.
That's always the concern. The difference here is we're primarily confined to this warning box instead of being widespread. The wave, as it did on Sunday, may not make its way towards the north into South Bend and across Cass County like it did last time. These are the subtle differences that we watch compared to last time. Should you continue to follow along? Yes, because each little moment the storm can build on itself. But I want to get down and focus in on this primary concern. It's the Medaryville area that is currently ongoing, where we have that area of circulation between Medaryville and Saint Pierre. So this is the area of concern. This is the primary area of concern right now as we focus in on this notch. And so if we click in here, again, this is the warned part of the storm, and that's the active tornado warning. This storm, the cell currently moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. So this is the outlined area that I'm watching. And this is somewhat broad as far as the rotation goes. It's not that discrete notch that we look for, but it's concerning enough given our current environment for a tornado. And so this is roughly the path of that tornado or possible tornado. This is what we're watching underneath the warning. And so if you're in Bass Lake, North Bend, Burr Oak, and unfortunately Donaldson, who was already hit by a tornado on Sunday, you are in the path. That doesn't mean that if you're in Bass Lake and Burr Oak right now that you're in complete panic, but you are watching intently. If you know people in Bass Lake and Burr Oak, you're saying, hey, tune in right now. We're pointing out your town because the area of circulation, the concern of the tornado, would be just south of Saint Pierre currently, would be just south of Saint Pierre. Kristen, make sure you're watching chat fairly closely. If there's any confirmation of a tornado, we want to know about it quite quickly because that will be the next upgrade. That doesn't change the warning, but we up our intensity if anything is spotted, which might be difficult. We look at our active warning right now, tornado warning until 7:45 for Stark County, until technically until 7:45 for both Stark and Pulaski County. So our area we're going to turn until 7:45. So we're at 7:20 right now. And we'll stay with you on ABC 57, and we may continue just back to Facebook Live after that. Kristen, you have an update.
Someone in the comments just said the correlation coefficient southwest of Medaryville does show a debris ball.
That could be a possibility. Again, those are tough to tell. What they're talking about that is another radar indicator that shows what could be inconsistencies in the radar, and we'll look at that in just a second. But one thing to also keep in mind is hail and other properties in the air can sometimes show that as well. We're not really seeing a screaming velocity signature that would say that, but I'll kind of click around here and we'll look at what we call the correlation coefficient here in just a second. I like to call it debris tracker through here. And it's not exactly off the charts, and it doesn't line up with that area of circulation. So we're seeing interesting colors through here that, again, if you're really into radar and know what you're talking about, that might be of, oh, okay, that could be something. But when we see, I'm just going to show you two things for everyone. This is the area that I believe that the commenter was talking about, but the area of circulation is up here. And so those two spots aren't the same. And if it was a possible tornado, those spots would line up. But currently, the area of rotation is approaching the North Judson area. So if you're watching right now in North Judson, this is the rough path, North Judson to Toto along this diagonal. We'll watch this very closely. We're zoomed in. This is right along the Stark-Pulaski County line. So Pulaski County, you're under a tornado warning, but really now I'm concerned for most of our viewers in Stark County. Here is Saint Pierre. There's the area of rotation. Here's North Judson. If you're in North Judson right now, get to your safe spot. Get to your safe spot in North Judson. A tornado-warned storm is moving your way. In fact, we just got a new radar scan, and so this is now moving into the North Judson area right now. So again, we are very concerned if you're in North Judson, this area of rotation moving in right now. Here is Indiana 10. Here is Indiana 39. Coming right into town, likely on the west side of town. If there's an area of circulation, if there's going to be damage, if there's going to be a tornado, which we have not confirmed yet, Kristen Tyler.
Yep. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield just set out in the field. North Judson has to get to shelter now. So I'm not sure what he's seeing, but he is telling us to get to shelter in those areas.
Absolutely. That's the advice we want. If you're in North Judson right now, get to your safe spot now. Let's stay on the radar picture, and I'm going to go in for a closer scan. And this is the spot that we're most concerned with at the moment, is right here over North Judson. Is Dave in motion, or where is he located? I just want to ask him for people in the back. All right, so meteorologist Dave Caulfield is moving towards the Knox area right now, so we know that information coming in. But if you're in North Judson right now, the area of circulation is just south of 10, west side of town. But this area of circulation will move over North Judson very shortly. So if you are in North Judson, get to your safe spot now. This is moving northeast from North Judson to Toto. Anywhere really, if you're in this area of blue right through here. This is the rough path. Keep in mind, this is what we call radar indicated. There is a spin in the atmosphere currently at radar scan level. It is tough to tell if that funnel is touching the ground, but we're seeing this green intensify. Even if it is not a tornado, there is strong wind associated with this. If you're in North Judson, get to your safe spot right now. That is our area of concern. Again, we're watching things very closely. North Judson and on towards Toto. Here is Indiana 10. Here's the dogleg 39 into town to North Judson. And then if you live on 39 north, out of North Judson as you head up towards Toto, get to your safe spot right now. This is an area of what we're indicating likely stronger wind. In fact, we can start sampling some of this information as well. Now, this is not surface wind, but this is up about 1,000 or so feet, but indicating wind speed up to 65 miles per hour. And that shear rate at about 26, that's not off the charts as far as shear goes, which is the spin or change in wind direction pixel to pixel. But right through here, if there is a tornado, this is indicating rotation here. It is currently over North Judson, moving towards Toto, and Knox is just down the road. So we are concerned about a possible tornado. We're using the word possible right now because it is not confirmed at the moment. Kristen Tyler.
Yep, just to piggyback off of what you said, we have a information from the National Weather Service office. It says we're keeping a close eye on rotation near Francisville, Indiana, and Medaryville, Indiana. Radar is showing a lot of rotation in these areas. Wouldn't be surprised if there is a rain-wrapped tornado on the ground there in far northwest Pulaski County going towards Stark. So possibility of rain-wrapped tornado, not confirmed quite yet, but there is rotation in those areas.
When was that message posted?
This was just posted at 7:25.
7:25. So again, we're kind of concerned about that same cell right there. Thank you for that information, Kristen, as we continue on. Here is the warning box as we kind of zoom in, and I'll kind of focus in on that. Medaryville to Knox, all throughout here, there's areas of just little areas of rotation that we're going to be continuing to focus in on. Temperatures are rising in South Bend. It's 57, 62 in Plymouth. And we watch this because the warm front is lifting northward, and that will increase a severe threat for our area into some of these spots. So again, we're still watching the active warnings. There are thunderstorms spreading across the north. The good news is what I do want to show you is that there are thunderstorms now training into St. Joseph County, into Berrien County. And this is where we probably have that little bit of a difference right now, that these will likely tamp down a severe threat across our north, but this is this embedded, really nasty cell of storms that are along the Stark and Pulaski County line that we're currently very interested in. In fact, back near Saint Pierre and Medaryville, we'll likely have what could be hail in this area, indicating some very strong lightning as well with these storms. So multiple areas where things could be spinning up right now as we continue to watch things closely. Also watching right through here, you can see the area of bright blue in there would be of top concern that there might be either a rain-wrapped tornado or just strong wind gusts currently moving into the Medaryville area as well. So multiple areas of concern under the same warning from Medaryville up towards Saint Pierre and getting closer to North Judson and Toto right now. So this is the current situation. Strong wind gusts likely near Medaryville, Rich Grove, but the area that really stands out right now is North Judson to Toto right through here would be that area of slightly lower reflectivity. If this is currently crossing Toto Road and Indiana 39, Toto Road and 39, that intersection right there, if there is a tornado, this might be the spot that it would be happening. We continue to see this blip that seems to stand out on radar with a bright green, then an area of red or lower velocity on the radar, which for us meteorologists indicates that something is spinning, the air is moving in different directions through here. And so this is our area of concern. For those who have been following along, asking, this is a similar setup to what we had on Sunday. A similar setup doesn't always guarantee the same result. The result this time seems to be discrete pockets, meaning small areas where there could be a tornado or strong wind gusts. We are not seeing that widespread wall of wind developing currently, which I'll say for most of us is good news. It is not as bad currently as it was on Sunday. But if you are in the Toto area, that is very concerning because there's the possibility of a tornado. If you are in Toto, get to your safe spot and stay in your safe spot. If you're in Knox, you're on standby currently. We have some live cameras up. I want to take a look out of Bremen right now from Juliana Grahowski, if we can get that picture up, and seeing the sky is starting to get darker, much darker. So again, the growing concern is spreading across the area as the storms are moving in. This is the view out of Bremen tonight. Skies are getting dark. You can see constant, at least cloud-to-cloud lightning strikes as they continue to move in. So the storms are building along an area of warm air. Moving towards the Knox area tonight, we have meteorologist Dave Caulfield. Let's stay on this shot, and then can we get to Dave? Is he available to take coverage after this live shot? But notice the number of lightning strikes, live view from Bremen currently. Dave currently ready to go. Dave, let me hear from you as I get the update on a new update on a tornado warning, expansion of a tornado warning into St. Joseph County as well. So Dave, I want you to go real quick.
If you guys can hear me, I'm having a little trouble hearing you guys, but do you want me to go, Tom? Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just trying to get into a good position. We are just west of Knox right now. Here's what we are looking at. We are basically looking directly at that circulation. It's tough to see anything except for, excuse me, rain and lightning. Yeah, it looks like I heard what Tom said. We are looking at that warning being extended into portions of St. Joseph County. But we are moving west. Oh man, that is a lot of lightning. We are moving west right now on Indiana 8. And so we are moving into the Knox area over the next 5 minutes or so. Interesting to my eye, and I'll get Tom Coomes' opinion on this in a second, but that circulation might be starting to flatten out a little bit, and it might be more of a microburst or straight line wind threat. Either way, this is likely some strong wind moving just west of Knox at this point. So we are just east of Knox, but we are looking west, and you can see just the torrential rain right now. Lightning is pretty continuous at this point, at least cloud to cloud lightning with a few strikes here and there as well. But that is certainly some very strong wind that is about to head just west of Knox over the next few minutes or so.
Thank you, Dave.
We'll send it back to you in the studio, Tom. But I can hear you guys now.
All right, thank you, Dave. Stay close on the line here. We want to go back to Dave very quickly once he's in position, but I want to show you what's going on right now. Tornado warning has just been issued for portions of St. Joseph County as well, so alerts are going off. I'm going to get to that in a second, but if you're in Knox right now, and as Dave was talking about, this may be broadening out more into a straight line wind type scenario, but this is dangerous, and this is now moving into Knox. Here's US 35. Here's the dogleg Indiana 8 as it goes over towards the east. So again, here's Indiana 8 US 35, Knox 250 north. Some of the roads I'm reading off here. This is just south of US 30. But Knox is about to get hit by at least strong wind and the possibility of a tornado. You need to be in your safe spot now if you're in Knox. Inside, away from windows. I'm going to broaden this out and show you the extension of the current warning that are currently ongoing. And again, we have a tornado warning now until 8 p.m. So the next 30 minutes, you are hearing tornado sirens currently going off in St. Joseph County. I know that is a very uneasy feeling, but if you are in South Bend, you are not under a tornado warning. I cannot stress that enough. That is the important thing to note to you. The tornado warning is this. This is the tornado warning, as I'll kind of go over everything that is currently ongoing right now. This is the tornado warning. It does include St. Joseph County, but the areas under the tornado warning are Knox, Coomes Lake, Walkerton, North Liberty, La Paz, and Marshall County, not Plymouth, but the Donaldson area, and all the way to Lakeville. It's technically could extend up to the south side of South Bend and Mishawaka. That's if this circulation stays together. But if you are currently right now in Knox, Coomes Lake, Walkerton, I want you in your safe spot now. Knox, Coomes Lake, and Walkerton, and anywhere in between, you are in your safe spot. If you're in North Liberty, if you're in La Paz, if you're in Lakeville, you are on standby. You're watching along with us and you're being prepared. We're watching as the storm begins to move in right now, beginning to move into the town limits of Knox. We're going to zoom in for a closer scan, and we'll kind of focus on this situation right now, where the worst of that wind is currently as we go down to street level. Here's the town of Knox, and just to the north. So just as we dogleg on Indiana 8 on the north side of 8. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield just coming into Knox right now. So we'll kind of go back and forth. I'm going to get you. Dave's moving along Indiana 8 coming into Knox. The worst of this wind, he's going to have to turn up 35 north and approach the 8 west intersection through here between Indian Hill and Knox. In this area, and again, this is our top area of concern all through here, of that tornado warned storm. If there is a tornado on the ground, this is the area that it would be in, right through here. This is our area of top concern, at least at this moment. It's just south of 250 north. 250 north and US 35 would be this area right in here where I have my concern of what is actively going on at this moment. So that is the area of circulation. To my director in the back, I need to reset up the controls just for a second if you're following along with me. But this is the area that we're seeing the worst of it, and the wind is currently moving in. Can we get meteorologist Dave Caulfield back? And I want to see what's going on. Currently, the worst of this wind is moving into US 35. Repeat my producer in the back, Dave's status. All right, we continue our coverage, meteorologist Dave Caulfield, as we see what the weather is like in Knox right now as it happens. You see the worst of the radar currently ongoing.
Yeah, so Tom, we just turned on to US 35 heading northbound, closer to that circulation, or at least the strongest wind. We're going to try and get out ahead of that. But at this point, the rain is absolutely torrential, and I would say that along with this tornado threat, we might need to start focusing on a heavy rain or flash flooding threat, because this rain is absolutely torrential. I haven't seen any hail just yet, but I did see some wind-driven rain just as we came to the intersection of Indiana 8 and US 35. But we are looking at some intense conditions right now, but we are trying to get ahead of this. It's been a lot of lightning, a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, a lot of heavy rain at this point. You see some of that lightning popping up here as we travel to the north. So as we are traveling, we're likely in the thick of it here. That wind not that strong to our vantage point at this point, but we're going to try and get ahead of this as we move towards the Hamlet area. That would be sort of the next area near US 30 that might be under the gun of this strongest area of wind. But interestingly, and this goes back to the threat potentially of straight line winds, it looks like behind this there's also an area of strong winds sort of developing as well. So while this is sort of the initial shock to the system as it moves closer to Hamlet in Stark County, close to the U.S. 30 county line, that is the next area of concern, and we're going to try and get out ahead of it. Tom?
Thank you, Dave, for your live coverage, taking us inside the storm as we go back. This is pretty much where Dave is driving. He's just going to get north of town. He'll relay if he starts running into damage in through this area. See what's crossing 250 north in this area. So if you're in Groverton right now, that's our area of concern. As you see that area of bright blue moving towards Groverton. There's the dogleg 23. That's where I'm now concerned about any area of damaging wind with this storm. We know there's going to be extremely heavy rain. Estimating in this pocket, whether it is spinning or moving in the same direction, this is our threat with the possibility of wind gusts topping 70 miles per hour. And we've seen this kind of light up on the radar. I also want to get to what Dave was also talking about as we'll zoom out a little bit. We'll take a better look at some areas that are also reflecting back some brighter colors here. So again, we continue to kind of see some spots here that are starting to show up a little brighter on radar, anywhere in blue and green through portions of Pulaski and Stark County. We may have some strong wind that's mixing in. Now that's at a farther distance from the radar site, so sometimes the radar can be a little fooled at upper levels, but that is an area of concern that we currently have ongoing. Here's the current status. Sirens are going off in St. Joseph County, but you need to know if you're watching in Granger, if you're watching in Mishawaka or South Bend, you are not technically under the tornado warning. The tornado warning is under this path, and it goes from Knox on to Groverton to Coomes Lake, Walkerton. If you're any of those towns, here's the update. Now for Groverton and Walkerton, you're in your safe spot right now, an area of concern. If you're in North Liberty and Lakeville, you are currently on standby as severe weather and a tornado is possible to happen. So again, we're watching things very closely tonight as we'll kind of go back and forth. This area has kind of broadened out a little bit, but this is kind of the push right through here. So Coomes Lake on towards the Groverton area would be our area of concern. We'll go in for a closer scan, and this is the spot right through here. As you just saw with that latest update, the area of circulation has moved past Knox. It has moved past the Knox area and is now moving up towards the north now. So crossing US 30 right near Groverton, that's the dogleg 23 between Groverton and Coomes Lake. Groverton to Coomes Lake, this would be the spot where, again, if there's a possibility of a tornado or it may just be very strong straight line wind, it's right through here. The difference between tonight and Sunday is we're focused on a very discrete spot that looks to be severe. Versus Sunday, it was a widespread line hitting everyone. So while the sirens and the alarms are going off right now, it is more discreet, and we're trying to take it town by town as the threat moves in. So right now, Groverton to Coomes Lake, and then on towards Walkerton, and likely this will cut somewhere between Walkerton and Tea Garden. If you're anywhere between Walkerton and Tea Garden, I want you on standby for the possibility of strong damaging wind or a tornado. So Tyner to Tea Garden to Walkerton would be my next area of concern. Meteorologist Kristen Tyler, what do you have?
Yes. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield just said that the storm is moving at 70 miles an hour, and whether it is a tornado or not confident that it's a tornado, but it is damaging wind moving that quickly.
That is very good to know. Make sure we're monitoring Dave's live chat. If he comes across anything of note, have him relayed in our chat, and we will go to him if we come across anything. Here is the warning box. The area in red is the tornado warning, and that includes pretty much the Walkerton, Stark, LaPorte County, Marshall County, kind of the quad area right through here, where we have that area of greatest concern, and that does stretch up into St. Joseph County. So Walkerton, you're now in your safe spot. If you're in North Liberty, you're on standby right now as we continue to monitor this storm very closely. But this warning goes until 8 o'clock, a tornado warning for multiple counties that cuts across multiple counties. I'm going to do kind of a walkthrough here, and we will reset the situation. Here is where we are ongoing right now at 7:42. This is the map. We've also had an expansion of the tornado watch to include all of northern Indiana. So our threat has gone up for all of northern Indiana currently, and we're continuing to watch things very closely right now. There is a tornado warning for pretty much the Walkerton area that then stretches up into St. Joseph County. That's the area in red. So here's the reset of our current alerts. Tornado warning, radar indicated. Radar indicated meaning no one has had eyes on this tornado yet. The conditions are just reaching a threshold that's a high concern. Tornado watch in yellow has been extended to Elkhart County, Kosciuszko County, and LaGrange County, and we still have this severe thunderstorm warning going technically until 7:45. We'll see if this gets extended for strong wind. But right now, our main focus is really on one polygon, this area in red. That is the tornado warning that is currently over the Coomes Lake and Groverton area. Anywhere between Knox and Coomes Lake, though, this is still pretty nasty. So even if you're in Knox, you're not in the tornado risk anymore. The tornado risk is over in Knox, but you are experiencing extremely heavy rain and possibly hail. The tornado risk right now is over Coomes Lake, Walkerton, Tyner, Tea Garden, North Liberty. You're on standby, but the tornado threat is right in this area is our area of concern. We're going to go in and we're going to zoom in tighter. Coomes Lake, safe spot now. Coomes Lake, safe spot now. This area of brighter returns on the radar is what we're watching so closely. In fact, I'll do a quick play out here as we'll kind of just watch this kind of just roll in, and you see that area of bright blue there. The good thing over the latest radar scan of what I've kind of noticed is this is kind of shrunk a little bit. We're just seeing one little blue pixel that would indicate wind topping 70 miles per hour. We're getting closer to the radar as well, but we're also getting a different angle with the radar. So that doesn't mean that there's a sharp decrease in intensity, but here's Indiana 23 as it snakes up through Coomes Lake and on towards Walkerton. And so it's this area right through here that would be my top concern. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put the warning on top of this so you can kind of see this overlay of how this is playing out. And so that is the warning. Looks like now we're extending a severe thunderstorm warning as well. I will get to that in a second. But this is the tornado warning that we currently have ongoing. And this is now moving to the northeast, still at 65 miles per hour. So a lot going on right here. We'll remove that warning update. I'll get to that in just a second. But this is the storm track right now, and this is the rough path of that would-be or possible tornado. Coomes Lake on the southeast side of Walkerton, Tea Garden to possibly Lakeville. Lakeville, you're on standby. The tornado threat is higher in Lakeville than North Liberty. So Potato Creek State Park to the east of Potato Creek State Park would be my area of concern versus to the west of Potato Creek where that possible tornado would be moving. Coomes Lake, Tea Garden, I'll even say La Paz, be aware of this area. Bremen, you are not under the tornado warning, but we're seeing expansions of a severe thunderstorm warning as well, which I'll get to. But that area of circulation currently moving into Coomes Lake. Tea Garden is next. Coomes Lake, you're inside, you're listening to me, you're away from windows. Tea Garden, you're also now getting to your safe spot. Same goes for the Walkerton area. Here's the tornado warning highlighted in red. This goes until 8 p.m. this evening. Here's the extension. We're also now seeing an upgrade of this warning for wind up to 70 miles per hour with this new severe thunderstorm warning that now includes all of Elkhart County, and portions of northern Kosciuszko County for a wind speed up to 70 miles per hour and a tornado possible. So we have a significant wind threat. It is similar, but not the same as Sunday, as we're not seeing that very distinct line, but we're seeing localized pockets of damaging wind. Let's go over to our Elkhart view tonight, as we have a view out of Elkhart and seeing things starting to change. The skies are getting darker. It's calm in Elkhart at the moment. We hear the thunder rolling in. The warning extends out to Elkhart right now, but currently not under an active warning. But we are concerned about damaging wind that is developing with this line of storms, even outside the tornado warning. So that is also going to be our area of concern right now as we continue to kind of focus in. And I'm beginning to see a line of wind that is developing. So that is the difference right now, is that we may be changing from more of that tornado warning into that severe thunderstorm warning with 70-mile-per-hour winds. I want to give a heads up to Blake, who is in Elkhart, and Julianne, who is in Bremen. If we can get a shot up from her again, if she's in a safe location, it looks like we're going to start seeing strong wind move into Marshall County as well. So we're seeing a changeover from a discrete spot of a tornado warning to widespread damaging wind. Come back and I'll show you here on the radar picture. We're beginning to see, notice this arc in the radar. I'm not seeing that one pinpoint area of top concern. I'm beginning to see what we call an outflow boundary, this arc coming out of the storm. And this now would be the wind threat. So this is now spreading La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen. Not necessarily a tornado warning. This is where people not under a tornado warning might be confused, but you now have a threat inside, away from windows, from Walkerton to Lakeville, La Paz, Plymouth, and Bremen. We're now seeing an expansion. We're now seeing an expansion of concern. I've already seen some wind gusts coming out of Knox up to 53 miles per hour, but anywhere along this path here, a concern for widespread damaging wind up to 70 miles per hour. La Paz, Plymouth, Bremen, Napanee. Meteorologist Kristen Tyler, you have an update.
Yes, we have an update about hail. A spotter report just came in. Hail about 3/4 of an inch in Stark. So we're seeing the hail there now. And we're going to continue to look out to see if that hail continues as it continues to go eastward. But as of right now, just hail coming from Stark.
Good information there. These storms are moving very quick. We're now seeing the storms increase in speed up to 70 miles per hour. That's the storms themselves, not just the actual threat period from the wind, but that's also the threat. But these storms are booking it, folks, moving very quickly. So this will start to be my kind of area of concern now. We have that warning, but if you're anywhere under this, so Plymouth up to Lakeville to Bremen, this is the storm track. Plymouth, Lakeville to Bremen. I want to get over to this timeline. Plymouth 7:52, Lakeville 7:55, Bremen 8 o'clock. Make sure we have Julianne ready by 8 o'clock to see what the weather will be like when it moves through there. We have an update from meteorologist Dave Caulfield in the mobile weather tracker. Dave, where are you and what's it look like?
Yeah, right now we're traveling up US 35 right now near Hamlet. We're about to interact with US 6, and we're going to sort of follow this from the backside. But as you were mentioning, I just want to draw attention because the tornado warning obviously gets the headlines, but just based on velocity scans, using radar here, and of course following along with the ABC 57 First Warning mobile weather app, which is a great resource in times like these. That wind looks really strong moving through Culver right now, and so into the US 31 corridor, Plymouth and Argus, probably over the next 10 minutes or so. Really think that wind is going to be concerning heading into Marshall County and even the La Paz area where that tornado warning is right now. It looks to be from La Paz to about Argus over the next 5 to 10 minutes. That is really the area of concern to my eye at this point. As far as what we've seen traveling up US 35, a lot of lightning, some lighter rain as we're sort of behind that rain shield on this. But we are going to check out Walkerton and see if we can see any damage from when those winds move through. But yeah, just want to sort of highlight Marshall County over the next 30 minutes or so for that higher wind threat.
All right, thank you, Dave, and you are correct. You're coming up to the flasher there at 35 and 6. What Dave's talking about is how I'm outlining this threat track. Anywhere along this blue line here is an area where strong wind is moving in. Plymouth, the wind is about to hit. Bremen very soon at 7:59. 7:59. We have a crew there on standby within the next 5 minutes or so. We're going to take that. I would even say even down to as far south as Rochester, we're beginning to see a line. So if you're following along at home and watching, you have warnings coming off, sirens are going off in St. Joseph County. At this point, much of the strongest cell is south of South Bend, south of Mishawaka, but it's crossing the line. Looks like we have a new update on a new tornado warning, which is also an area of concern. We'll zoom into that. So new tornado warning storm, as Dave was talking about, Culver, Argus to Etna Green. So Dave was highlighting that part of the storm. New tornado warning, Culver, Argus to Etna Green and Bourbon. Get to your safe spot now. If you're basically through Culver, but onto the Argus areas, Dave was pointing out that area looked fairly nasty. New tornado warning, new tornado warning. This is radar indicated, but for an area of concern right through here. I'll turn off some of the warnings as we look right through here. So we have now 2 tornado warnings, radar indicated, and 1 severe thunderstorm warning, all encompassing for wind up to 70 miles per hour. So multiple targets that we're going to try and get through here. The area of, if there was a tornado on the ground right now, it would be right here near Argus crossing 31. So the details on this, pretty much snaking right along 10, about to cross 31 right now, would be the possible tornado. This would be the possible tornado on the ground. Radar indicated this warning going until 8:30. Argus, get to your safe spot now. The possible area of a tornado is just past Culver, east of Culver, along along Indiana 10, approaching 31. This cell is moving northeast. Again, all the storm motion here moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. As I'll come back here, here's the area on the radar, as Dave was pointing out. Really nasty wind just to the east of Culver. That blue bullseye moving towards Argus. So approaching the 1031 interchange there by the McDonald's. That's the turn for Argus off 31. That is the tornado threat. So that is a tornado warning storm. Multiple warnings currently ongoing. 2 tornado warnings, one going until 8 o'clock, the other going until 8:30, and a severe thunderstorm warning embedded in all of this. A lot going on, but I'm going to remove the warnings here because I'm less concerned about the type of warning and I'm more concerned about the general area of concern, as we'll kind of switch back here to our radar mode and we'll kind of go back and forth. So I just want to go back and we'll look at our velocity data and we'll look at this. And this really kind of points out where the concern is. And I know it may all seem like colors on here that are all roughly the same, but it's this storm track I want everyone to be aware of. If you are anywhere in this area, this is where the damaging wind is. It has now moved through Plymouth. It's moving into Argus right now. It's Bremen at 8:01. Bremen at 8:01 about to move in. I believe we have Julianne Grahowski live in Bremen right now. Can we take a picture from her right now, as it seems to be eerily calm? The lightning is currently moving. I want you locked in on this shot tonight. Make sure, Juliana, know you're listening. You're going to have use your compass on your phone. And you're going to make sure you're pointed towards the south and west eventually. But that's the view from Bremen right now. Come back to the radar, and we'll be coming back to Julianne very shortly as that severe weather moves in. But this is going to be likely that same wall of wind scenario of extremely strong wind. Argus, Plymouth, Bremen, Bourbon, on towards Etna Green as well. So all areas of top concern tonight, even possibly Napanee. I want you on standby in Napanee, eventually on towards North Webster and possibly Goshen. It's in this box here. I'm going to cycle through as we head towards the top of the hour of what our current situation is. A lot is going on. Here we are at 7:56. 2 tornado warnings. South Bend is technically not under a warning of any kind, but as soon as you get south of the bypass, it's at least an area of concern for strong wind. The tornado warning is for upwards up towards the Lakeville area. I want you on standby, but I'm concerned right now. Let's take that live camera out of Argus right now. If we can take a look at what's going on and look at the wind shaking this camera. As I mentioned, strong wind currently moving through Argus, shaking this. If you're in Argus right now, you're inside, away from windows, in your safe spot. A tornado-warned storm, strong wind up to 70 miles per hour currently working in. This camera freezing up and might be getting knocked out right now. So that's what you're seeing there live. I want Julianne prepared for that in Bremen. A gust of wind is about to move in. That's where I'm going to change over to focus. We're going to follow along into the Bremen area now as we kind of zoom in and look towards the radar picture. This area of red on the radar is what we're concerned with. And you can see this wall of wind right through here. So this line, this demarcation is where the strong wind is. It's now crossing 31. So strong wind gusts are currently crossing US 31. The strongest wind gusts, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because it does stretch up at least the south side of South Bend. But the worst of this, the warning goes up to the south side of South Bend and over towards Elkhart, Napanee, Wakarusa, all on standby for strong wind gusts as well. But currently the strongest wind is crossing 31 right now. And I'm just going to zoom in. This is widespread, folks, but if you're anywhere between South Bend and Rochester along 31, you need to be inside away from windows. Bremen, Napanee, Bourbon, you are next with this area of strong wind, and we're seeing that same eerie wall of wind scenario right now. I want to go back, if we can, to Julianne in Bremen as we're right in here as the wind is about to move in. This is giving people a clear picture. Sirens are currently going off in Bremen right now. Strong wind is on the way, a wind gust roughly of 70 miles per hour. We can see the flag there blowing loosely at this moment, and things are about to change. We're watching the radar very closely as the storm moves in. We're under shelter in as safe a location as we can to bring you this picture, but you can hear the sirens going off technically, again, for the Bremen area as the storm is moving into town right now. We're following along with, see the lightning as it's moving in. But if you're anywhere from Bremen, anywhere along 331, north to south, to Mishawaka southward down 331, you need to be inside away from windows. If you're anywhere along Indiana 19, Wakarusa, Napanee, Etna Green, inside away from windows. Damaging wind is headed your way once again, be it a tornado or not. We are concerned about damaging wind that it's about to move in. You're watching live coverage here at 8 o'clock here on ABC 57 News. It is 8 o'clock. There are multiple warnings in place, tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings, and we are in Bremen tonight as the wind is about to move in, a wall of wind likely moving in. If you're in Plymouth, if you're in Argus, if you're in Bourbon and Etna Green, the threat is about the same for everyone across eastern Marshall County for wind up to 70 miles per hour. We're just kind of waiting for that storm front to move in. It is